Hello and good afternoon, everyone. Let's have a look here. You have landed on Sue's Paper Creations. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Victoria, BC, which is on the west coast of Canada. And we are day three of 12 days of sneak peeks. I'm excited today to show you a brand new stamp set that's going to be featured in the new mini catalog. Hello, Lena. Got a couple people that are finding me, and I want to welcome you wherever you are watching from. Let's see here. Okay, got Lena here. Fantastic. Now, I hope you guys are having a good day and having some relaxing time in between Christmas and New Year's, getting ready for yet another year to start. Oh my goodness, 2025. It's crazy. I am getting excited and getting ready for another year of creating with all of you. Hello there. We got some more people. Christine, Alexina, Shelly, Janet, hello and welcome. Some people from the UK. Hello, Anya, how are you? Thanks for joining us. I am, like I said, excited. We are day 3 of 12 of sneak peeks from, this is not only going to be some items that are featured in the new up and coming mini catalog that Stampin' Up! Has, but I'm also going to touch on some celebration products, as well as at the same time on the 7th of January, there is going to be new releases of online exclusives as well. So yesterday, I think, was it yesterday or the day before? I'm just having a look at my cards I've made so far. It was that square, you know, the stamp set that we used that had the corners, the beautiful corners from yesterday. That was actually an online exclusive that will be coming out on January the 7th. So not only do we have tons of stuff coming out in a catalog, in a printed publication, but they always release new stuff online as well. So it's always good to check both places because you don't want to miss out on stuff, right? So I want to be able to share with you some stuff that's going to be brand new everywhere. Okay. Hello from the other side of the province. Hello, Anne and Linda. Welcome. Carol. Hello, Carol. I hope you had a fabulous holiday season. Michelle. Oh my goodness, Michelle, you're here again. I hope you're off again. This is wonderful. You're getting a couple days off. All right, so today's feature, Lifelong Friends. So this is a beautiful stamp set that's going to be in the mini catalog. And today I'm going to feature the stamp set, but I also want to teach you a very, very simple way to add little accents and some blending with something that I hope that you all have in your craft room, and that is Wink of Stella. So we're going to touch on using Wink of Stella, as well as watercolor pencils, some heat embossing. You're going to learn a few things today, so we're going to have a good time. So I'm going to head on down to my workspace. Keep in mind, I am going to give away one of my December Fun Fold classes to a lucky watcher today. Unfortunately, you do have to be Canadian for me to be able to mail out a parcel to you. But I want to welcome everyone near and far from wherever you are watching. And yeah, I'm excited to create with you today. So let's head on down this way. And I'm doing a draw all 12 days. Some will be some new products, some will be classes, Fun Fold classes. I'm just in the middle of creating another Fun Fold class, which will be my January one for everyone who placed an order in December. You automatically get, if your order's over $50, it's just a thank you I do, but you get a Fun Fold class. So I will be giving away some of those packages as we get going as well. And you may be a lucky winner. I'm going to do a draw at the end of the 12 days on the 7th of January. I'm going to go live and I'm going to walk you through. Finally, I'm going to crack open the pages of the new catalogs and I'm going to walk you through Celebration as well as our mini catalog. And I will do a draw for those who happen to share any or whichever ones you happen to share of the 12 days of sneak peeks. Your name will go into a draw for a final prize. All right. So, lifelong friends. We all have those lifelong friends. And it's nice every once in a while to definitely let them know how much you appreciate them. This set, I love it because it has, I couldn't have picked a better friend. I love the greetings. Here's to lifelong friends. So happy to have you in my life. So this could be someone that maybe you've just connected with or reconnected with. And you're just so happy to have them in your life, or someone that you're just thinking of. So it covers, those lifelong friends as well as maybe new acquaintances and friends that you have. So it's a cute set. And I know that sometimes when we look at these sets, we think, oh my goodness, all I see is all of the coloring that I'm going to have to do if I stamp this image. Am I right? Does anyone think that? And sometimes steer away from, if you're not one that's a fan of coloring, you maybe steer away from having to use stamps like this where you're going to have to spend a long time coloring. So today, my goal is to teach you that you don't have to spend a lot of time coloring. I'm going to show you a way which you can just highlight bits and pieces, add a little sparkle, and make these look really pretty, okay, with less work. All right, are we ready? Let's do it. So I have mine here and I just finished. This is the labels that go on. This is a red rubber set of stamps and I haven't used it yet. So I have my, you guys see me pull this out. This is like just a good old trusty rubber eraser here. I think it was, I can't remember whose this was. Maybe Molly's, Sarah's, Katie's, somebody's from like elementary school. But it works fantastic. And I'm just rubbing over my stamps here to get kind of that finish coating that is on there that may prevent the ink clinging to those stamps right away. So you can see how it just, can you see the edging of the top here, how it's now a little bit dull compared to shiny? So that's what it does, is it just takes off that shiny coating so that the ink will cling to it right away rather than having to do that over time. I'm going to get out my blocks and I'm using this cute little two friends here. Looks like they've just been to a farmer's market, picked up some beautiful flowers, going for a stroll. These cute little flowers, and not quite sure what I'm going to do with those ones yet, but I just have to use them because they're cute. And then we're going to go with a little so happy to have you in my life. Okay, so that's what we're going with. Now I've got my featured color that I'm going to stamp on. I am going to be doing some heat embossing. This, let me back out a little bit. This I find is a really quick and easy way in which you can have the image. You don't have to stamp it on white, which means you have to do all the coloring. Instead, you're going to start with a color and then you're just going to do a little bit of accenting on top. Now, once I heat emboss this, you're going to see how pretty it looks, and you can leave it as is, or you can do what I'm going to do with some watercolor pencils here and a little bit of Wink of Stella, and we're going to have some fun kind of blending some colors and making certain areas of it sparkly. Okay. All right, here we go. Welcome everyone, those that are just seeing that I popped up. I know I didn't give you much notice of what time I was going live today. I will let you know that tomorrow I will be going live at 9 a.m., which is my usual time on a Sunday. So I will be doing 9 a.m. tomorrow. But I'm a little bit later today. Had some running around to do. And now I'm here. So here we go. We're going to do some creating. Let me see here. I've got Karen. Hello, Karen. I haven't seen you forever. Hope you're doing well. And for heat embossing, I did have somebody ask me in the feed, I guess it was maybe yesterday, the day before, the best things that you need for heat embossing. And for me, I'm going to show you the easy way. You definitely need, of course, your Versamark, which is going to be that really sticky clear ink that is going to make embossing powder, which is super fine. If you haven't done embossing before, you can get them in metallics, you can get them in basic colors, but I've got just white here I'm going to use. And you want a sticky pigment ink, so that's going to be your Versamark. You can either use this for a nice watermark on, that's why it's a watermark stamp pad. You can stamp an image and it will end up being looking like a faint watermark on your page, which is great for backgrounds. Or you can use your embossing powders with them, which is the most common thing for this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to prepare my paper. You definitely want to have a little embossing buddy. What is in here? I'm not really sure, but it is. It is magical, and they call it a buddy because you want to have it sticking by you when you are doing your heat embossing, because it's going to take any moisture off the page. Sometimes if we have sticky fingers and we put them and handle the paper, when we go to add our powder to it, if there's any oils or stickiness on our fingers, you end up having the powder cling there instead of just where you've stamped your image. Okay, so you want to have your buddy. That is a must. And then you need, of course, a heat tool. So there is other items that you can use when you're doing heat embossing. You can make sure you're having a piece or a pair of tweezers, because it is a heat tool, so it does get warm. Okay, I'm just stamping here. I better stand up here to make sure this is going where I want it to go. Oh, this is going to be sweet. So cute. I love this image. But what I sometimes do, and I'm going to show you one of my little tricks for not only stopping my fingers from getting a little hot, although they're used to it, and it doesn't tend to affect me too much, but some people are more sensitive to the heat than others. But what I will sometimes use is just a clipboard, and I put a little foil on it. So I'm going to show you that trick too. Okay, if you've been to my in-person classes, you may have seen them out before. Let's douse a little white powder and see how I have my powder just where the image is, and it's not clinging to anywhere else because we used our little buddy, so it prevents it from sticking to places we don't want it to. Okay, and then we're going to bring in a little clipboard. So this is, I think it's from the dollar store. It was a little tiny clipboard. If you are heat embossing something small, it's awesome because you can just kind of clip it and you're not handling it with your fingers, trying to hang on to it and heat at the same time. But what I like to do is I actually like to cover it in foil first, because the foil is going to generate some heat from the bottom side, which means that it's going to heat emboss that much quicker. So if you are one to use maybe some heat embossing over some designer series paper, which looks beautiful if you have like a faint pattern on there and you want to add something to it. Or if you're using vellum and stamping and heat embossing on vellum, this is going to also help prevent your paper from curling because it's going to heat it up a lot quicker, right? So you don't have to blast it with heat as long. So here we go. Let's see, we gotta wait till it starts. And there it goes. So what I tend to do is I follow it along. I don't wave it around. And I just let it do its thing. So cute. It's going to turn a liquidy white. Kind of add some shine to it, and it raises up a little bit. Okay, so that heated up pretty quick. Like I said, just having that foil underneath it speeds the process along a little bit, and makes it so that you don't have to heat as long. Okay. All right, so there we go. Isn't that sweet? So again, this is just on Pool Party, and I think that that is beautiful. I could stop there. I could frame this up. Look at how pretty that looks. Add a little greeting, which I'm going to do on this one. So we're going to get our greeting done first here. And I ended up cutting a spare. I'm an over prepper. As you've probably heard me say before, I always cut like 2 of everything just in case I need it. But I have not stamped this before, so I just want to have 2 just in case it's not straight the first time. I'm going to stamp it down. We're hoping we are nice and straight. Oh, that looks good. Perfect. Again, this is a tiny piece, right? So I'm going to douse it in my powder. And again, I'm just going to use the white. I think it would look beautiful in silver too. In fact, this would look beautiful. There's certain colors where silver embossing looks amazing. Pool Party, I find, is one. Highland Heather is another. Those like pale pastel colors. They just look so beautiful with the silver. So I'm just going to tuck that in there. Okay. And we'll let that do its thing. There we go. Like I said, it does, I think, make it quick. Definitely a bit quicker having it on the foil. All right. So there is our So Happy to Have You in My Life. Isn't that cute? We've got our cute little ladies. And we're going to do a little technique. So let's zoom in. There we go. And take a sip of my coffee. It's coffee time where I am. So I'm at 3:20 p.m. We are December the 28th. And I'm coming to you from Victoria, BC in my craft room, west coast of Canada. And I'm going to show you this little trick with my watercolor pencils. Are you ready? Here we go. So another reason why I wanted to stamp on a color and heat emboss is because then I'm not going to color in like every single detail. I'm going to highlight just a few things. Like I might highlight some flowers in the basket. You know, on this one, I may highlight her dress, maybe do their hair. We'll see as we go how much we end up coloring in. But the light color, so let's see here, petal pink would be nice. Like I said, Highland Heather would be pretty. I'm trying to think of some of our other lighter colors that will allow you to still be able to color over top of them and see those colors rather than a dark surface. Okay, so I'm going to use a little bit of Daffodil Delight. And this is 2 packages of our watercolor pencils. We have 2 different sets, and I couldn't tell you which colors are in which ones right now because I just keep them all together in one of these clear stamp cases. It's the easiest way to go. I'm going to do maybe a little dark hair, early espresso. Maybe I'll make one, have dark hair, one maybe blonde. Let's see what other colors have we got. Let's do maybe a little green. Would look pretty. For maybe one of the pots, we could do some flowers in a slightly darker blue color. Maybe we'll pop in a little coral. So you really can have some fun with your color combinations and just a little tone on tone as well. So I think we'll go with those. Okay, I have got my Wink of Stella ready, and then I've also got, mind you, I don't know how old this blender pen is. Let me just see. Oh no, it's still going. This has got to be, I don't know, 5 years old. I betcha. I haven't bought blender pens in probably 5 years. They just keep on going. There is like some glycerin and different things in the blender pens, and you can use those for spreading your color as well. This is going to do the same thing. This is our Wink of Stella, which adds sparkle. Can you see that? As you blend. So that's the bonus of the Wink of Stella. But it's going to do the same thing as the blender brush, but it's going to give you sparkle. Okay? All right. Where to start? Where to start? Okay, we're going to make her blonde. So I'm going to just lay down some color here. So I'm not doing it everywhere, just in a couple places. And then I'm going to blend these things in. Okay, you'll see in a second. So I'm going to go a little bit of yellow. I'm going a little bit heavier just because we're going over the blue, but you're going to see it's going to work. We're going to do some darker hair here, like that. So you can either highlight the people or you can highlight what they've got in their hands. It really is up to you. Again, just laying down the color. I think I'm going to make, you know what? I'm not going to worry about their clothes for this one. I could go in, and I've done this for many different stamp sets, but I have gone in, and if you follow along the edges and you do the detailed lines and then blend, it looks beautiful. I'm going to focus more on the pots and the flowers, I think. So I'm going to do this one in green, like that, and add some color. And then I'm going to do this one in kind of a darker Bermuda Bay, or that's Coastal Cabana. I'm going to do some gorgeous grape flowers. So again, just laying down the color. The magic's going to happen pretty soon. You can see that. Okay, these flowers over here, maybe we want to do those ones in a coral color, I think. I'm going to add some coral over here. Okay, this is fabulous to do on watercolor paper. If you do some embossing on watercolor paper, that is really fun. There's a couple different techniques, and maybe I will do another day. I'll do the 3 ladies, and I'll do that technique on the watercolor paper so you can see. But I'm going to go in with my Wink of Stella here, and let's blend this. So you can see how I'm just running the Wink of Stella over top and how it is blending and dispersing the color that I put down with the pencils. Can you see that? And I can fill it in. The color here. And this is going to add sparkle. Okay, and then just like you would with your blender pen, you're going to rub it on the surface here. And what it's going to do is it's going to take the color that was in the Wink of Stella tip, and it will get rid of that so it doesn't transfer to the new color that you use. So here we've got our dark hair here that we're coloring in. I am going to rub a little bit with I'll see if I've got a Kleenex handy, over top, and that's going to take any color that's sitting on the actual embossed areas, that white embossing powder. Again, rub it a little bit, and then we're going to go in and I'm going to color out and rub around the green. I'm just using sparkle on everything because sparkle's good this time of year. A little sparkle. There we go. Okay, and then we're going to do our Costa Cabana over here on this. It's like a little basket. And again, rubbing. See how it's taking that color out of there? So it's making it clear. So I can go in and I can focus on the little tiny flowers and spread that color around just like that. And we're going to do the coral over here. So your Wink of Stella is just like a blending pen with sparkle. The difference that you will find, and this is the same with your blending pens as well as the Wink of Stella, is if you are going to do some blending and first you want to color with your alcohol-based markers, it's not going to blend. Okay, so it's not going to blend this and this, your blending brush. It's not going to blend alcohol-based products or permanent inks. So what it will blend is you can take color. In fact, I'm going to show you. We're going to add a little color to the dress just because for coloring, just to show you. I'm going to take a little bit. This is Lost Lagoon. I like to put it on a block like that. Okay. And I'm going to pick it up with my Wink of Stella. This is going to be a sparkly. And look at this. Then I can blend it around just like that and spread it like a paintbrush. Okay, I can squeeze it a little bit to lighten it up, to add a little bit more Wink of Stella in there, and then I can go and I can do the same down here. So you can have variation in color. So this could be like a little ombre dress if you want it, darker on the top, a little lighter on the bottom. Can add a little bit, see the little marks that are actually in the dress there. You can see how you can spread that around. Okay, it makes it more fun when you're coloring, right? You don't have to color everything, right? You can just color bits and pieces. I'm going for it because I'm showing you. I'm going to show you a little. What other colors have I got here? Let's see. These are just left over from yesterday's little demo. Maybe I'll do. I feel like now I have to do her outfit, right? Let's do maybe green and pecan pie. Again, just because I've got them. I'm going to put on this end a little green. And let's do her blouse in green. And then we'll do some brown pants. Okay? Then we'll finish up the card. But I wanted to show you just the possibility. This is another reason. This is a reason. I mean, you want to have Wink of Stella in your craft room anyway because it's sparkly, and who doesn't love sparkle? But this is definitely another reason why you're going to want to add it to your craft room, because it is the best blending tool that you can have for water base. So whether it is all of our inks are water base, whether it is watercolor pencils, or whether you are using, let's see here, there we go, watercolor pencils, water base, inks, or you can do the Stampin' Write markers. They're water base as well, and you can use that as well to blend it a little bit. Okay, so look at her green dress. Isn't that pretty? And it makes a nice blended look where it takes all the lines out of your coloring, right? It's like you're like this watercolor painter without being a watercolor painter, if you know what I mean. Like, I am not a painter, but I can do this because it's easy. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit of brown on here. All right, and you can see how these colors, like I said, if you use Pool Party is perfect. If you heat emboss on Petal Pink, the Highland Heather I think would look beautiful too. But it's just a nice, easy color to be able to paint over and still see the detail of the other colors that you're putting over top. Okay. They're all going to just be, they're going to be sparkled. It's the holidays, right? We're sparkling them up. Maybe the sun is hitting them too. It's glistening. They're being doused in sunshine. Okay. Do the cuffs there. And the brush of Wink of Stella, it stays together nicely so that you have a nice point to work with too. It doesn't fray or anything. It doesn't end up separating, so you do have an easy tip to be able to paint with. So you can see here. And then just run it. Then just run it clear. Just like that. And next thing you know, like those flowers, I want them to be a little bit brighter. So I'm actually going to go in. I'm doing a lot more coloring than I was going to, but once you start doing this, it's, like I said, it's a fun way to color. And you feel like an artist when you're doing it, and you don't see all of your little line marks because it blends it. Okay. See, I just wanted to make these a little bit darker. Don't you agree? They needed to pop a little bit. Now that I've colored their outfits, I don't want these flowers not to be seen because they are kind of like fun little complementary color tips there. Perfect. Okay. Okay, looking forward to my new tools. Oh, amazing. Okay, so look at not only, this is going to dry. In fact, it's probably, let's see. Yep, it's already dry. So that is the dried surface, but look at the shine. See how you have the sparkle? Isn't that pretty? Okay, and then what we're going to do is I want to just grab a little tissue and I want to rub it over top just to see. There we go. Just to see how there's that yellow. See that on there? All that yellow was sitting on the actual surface of the embossing. See how now I've rubbed it? You can see it's focusing on my finger. So let me bring it in. So see how it has taken the yellow off, and I'll burnish it a bit. You're going to notice it here. It's going to take the color off of the surface of the actual embossing, and then can you see that? You see the difference? Okay, so the color just stays on the paper and it comes off the surface of where you've embossed. So you have those definition of your lines back. So you definitely want to have a Kleenex or something, and I'm going to just paper towel, and it's going to, see that? The brown, and because this was all covered, and now you can see that definition better. I'm going to burnish. I'm going to just change my position on my Kleenex here so that I don't transfer red onto anywhere else. But you can see how it's taking those colors off, and now we can see the definition. And over here on the purple too. And it just brings the white lines back and makes them crisp again. Okay. There. Makes a difference, right? Now we can see all those lines, the colors fading in there. It looks nice. You've got sparkle, and now we're going to finish it off. Okay. Yeah, I wanted to show you. So these are easy ways that you can, take that next step for your coloring, to make it easy. Definitely the Wink of Stella makes it definitely more sparkle to it, but you don't have to color in the whole bits. As you can see, if you wanted to, you could just do the flowers. I wanted to show you how I could use the ink pads and stuff as well with the Wink of Stella, so I did a little bit more, but it didn't take that long. And I find the most frustrating part when I'm coloring, this is why I love the blends if I am going to color just on white, is because you don't see the lines where you're coloring and it blends beautifully. Well, I wanted to show you can get the same result with watercolor pencils, Wink of Stella. I didn't bother to use the blender pen, but it will do the same job. You just won't have the sparkle. And I just love the sparkle. Okay. All right. So let's finish the card. Look at how this, when it's framed in, isn't that pretty? And then we're going to use, maybe put it over this side because we have this color over here. We're going to put a little greeting on there. What we do have to decide on, oh my goodness, here we go. We better get out the rainbow bucket of colors. And originally I had thought, okay, so here's our little ladies here. You can see all the colors up at the top. Originally, I had thought about putting this on a card base. Let's see here. Let's get all our colors together to pull out either the coral or possibly the yellow. So, or the other option would be kind of more neutral. Do I have any neutral? I meant to, actually neutral could be old olive too. I think green might look nice. Look at that. That's actually quite pretty, isn't it? So we've got the old olive. That's an option. Wild wheat. Pretty as well. I'm going to give you 3 and then you can tell me which one we should go with. Any suggestions? I'll pull out a coral just to see. I mean, there's the coral. Definitely brightens it up. Pulls these flowers out. Do I have purple in here? I do. Do I have Highland Heather, my light purple? I do have one. Ooh, that's a different twist. Look what that pulls out. That pulls out this. So it really does depend on what you want to highlight, what you want to pull out of what you've colored, right? So I will take that away. Ooh, I did want to show you because I have this done. For those of you that have already signed up for my paper ribbon and bees share, I told you that I was going to be sending you your own rainbow bucket of card bases as my little gift, so that you will have a variety of colors which will coordinate with all of your new gorgeous designer series papers, right? Purple or coral, old olive. Okay, you let me know. I will quickly pass them over. There's the purple. You ready? We got to have the blue in there too because that makes a difference. Purple. Okay, hold on. Coral. I don't know. I kind of like the purple so far. Green, or that, no, that's wild wheat. That actually looks pretty nice because of these tones, right? That looks pretty nice too. Okay, I'm trying to keep track. We've got an old olive, 2 purples, 1 wild wheat, and coral. Okay, well, we kind of have them all, don't we? And then this is the garden green. Interesting, hey? Purple. So far, people are thinking purple. Wild wheat. Wild wheat. Purple. Okay, how about if we add in, let's see if this will make a difference. If we pull in a little bit of yellow with the wild wheat, that looks nice. If we add yellow ribbon, this is the fine. Purple for me. Or that looks quite nice too. That looks nice and bright and cheery. Okay, so I'm taking these ones out of the equation. It's down to these two. Okay, it's down to those. This is the ribbon that's going to be used. So we'll think about that. Okay, but these are the wild wheat, wild wheat. Okay, we're looking more of the wild wheat. Good to know. I wanted to show you, this is going to be your bucket. You're going to have to put, I don't include the bucket, but these are 40 card bases. And these are pulling colors out of all of the brand new designer series papers that are going to be in the product share that I'm offering. Okay, so there's 10 different package of designer series paper. You get a quarter package of each one, 4 different ribbons, quarter package of each one of those, and you get a quarter package of these. Because they're so cute, I could not do it. The little tiny bees. Okay, so you get 10 of those. But I am chucking in as a little bonus because I know I love when I go to create, whether I'm using just cardstock or whether I'm using designer series paper, I love to have a variety of bases that I can play with like I do during my lives and pick the colors that work the best. And these are going to all go with the papers in the share, and then you also get these as a little gift too. Okay, so I'm including all 40 of those. I'm not scoring them down the center because some people like to do a little bit of a fun fold where they go in the middle or they go off to the side and also create a gift card holder, but they will be shipped just like that, so you can fold them in half and then use them as your card bases. You could fold them all in half, score them, and start a little bucket. I'm starting the bucket for you, okay? So let's see here. Purple, purple. Man, we are like half and half. Now it's looking more purple. Yeah, so I'm going to go with the purple. I will do another one another day and do the wild wheat, but it looks like purple is the winner by a smidgen in the end. So let's put this together and we'll add a little ribbon. Now I'm going to frame, this is the, this isn't perennial. Is it perennial? The die set, perpetual, perennial. It is these little posted ones, and it is amazing because you have a zillion different shapes. And another tip while I'm doing this, because these are the sort of things that help you in your creating. Okay, I want to show you how I chose my sizes. Are you ready? So I took a card base and I started laying the actual dies over top of just a plain card base. Okay, and then I started looking at how this is going to lay over top, like so. I also had to look at the size of my greeting. So I knew I wanted to use a greeting that was this size, but I had to decide whether or not I wanted a double layer or whether I wanted single, how much of, an outline I wanted, and how much I wanted it to hang over. Okay, but it's a great way if you're using, say, a whole bunch of different pattern papers to, before you go and cut, do a little kind of layout to decide how you want it to look on your card. Okay, so use your actual dies and lay them over top of your project, whether it's going to be a scrapbook page, whether it's going to be an actual card, and, you know, help design your card and get your design figured out before you go and cut all of those layers. Okay, that's just a little side tip. All right, perennial postage. Yes, thank you. Yay, purple. All right, let's put them together. Okay, so today you're just getting one card. We went crazy yesterday. We did 4, didn't we? But I wanted to take the time to, for those that are new to heat embossing, it's nice to know what you need and what you don't. Some people, like I said, they love the embossing powder trays. I find them more work than not because I have to put them all back in the containers. So I go and get some clear Ziplocs, put each color in each bucket, and use it as just a way to sprinkle over top of your paper. If you happen to have a clipboard, you can use that instead of, you know, although tweezers you probably already have in your workspace. If you are a crafter, I'm guessing you probably already have some tweezers, but if not, you can definitely just use a clipboard. Now, another awesome detail is, of course, these grooves. So I can decide what I want to do with my ribbon. And I think I'm going to tie it here and take advantage of these grooves. I'm going to cut this and just tie a little knot, add a little bit of this cherry daffodil ribbon. So let's do it right about here. It highlights the color of her hair, and it's just a cheerful color. But then I can also offset this over top of here like this. So I'm just going to trim it up. I didn't want to do a bow. I didn't want it to be too bulky, but I think that's quite pretty. I'm going to get my, let's see, we're going to go the larger dimensionals here. And I'm just going to pop this. Ooh, what I could do, you know what? One last detail. I had those little flowers, right? We haven't used them yet. I'm going to stamp and I'm going to heat emboss in clear. And what this is going to do is it's going to make it look like these flowers are the same as what is in this basket because they're going to be purple. It is like purple was meant to be for this card. So let's take our embossing buddy. You're going to love the look of this. Lots of added details today. So you don't have to do them all. These are just some suggestions that you can add in to kind of step things up. I'm going to just stamp these purple flowers, and I'm not going to do them all around the outside. I'm just going to do them in a couple places, 3 little spots like that. And then I'm going to add the clear. Now, before I do, I was telling you about the watermark that Versamark leaves on your paper. You could leave it like this and you would have the purple detail of the flowers. If you want to highlight them even more, then you take some clear embossing. Okay. And you're going to see what happens with the clear and how it just makes them shiny. Nope, I did a little bit too hard of a press on my stamp. There we go. Too excited. All right, so there is powder on there. Make sure there's not too much, and let's heat it. There we go. So you can see the difference between just the watermark and adding the clear powder. Okay, so see the difference that Versamark made, and then look, see how it makes it shiny? That's the clear embossing powder. It brightens up the color and it makes it go shiny. So there is that. Now let's put this over top. If you wanted to, you could even add a little bit of Wink of Stella on your flowers. I'm going to maybe do just a couple. Just so you can see the difference. What it's going to do is it's going to darken up. Doesn't blend it, it just adding the Wink of Stella darkens up the cardstock. So that's what it's doing there. Doesn't blend any colors because there's no color with clear embossing powder, but it does darken up the flower. So now you got some light and some dark ones there. Just to see the difference, right? We'll add this on. We're going to add some pretty bling. I think I've got some yellow I can add. We'll see if we want to add more color or not. I'm going to put that right there in the center and see how pretty those flowers look. Then I'm going to add this right here. Okay. All right. So what do we think? I think the purple was meant to be because it highlights those purple flowers. They're the same shape. I think the yellow ribbon is nice. You guys made some great choices to finish that up. I like the flowers and loving the sparkle of the coloring. Quick and easy coloring. Okay, I'm going to add, let's see here. I'm going to do a little tone on tone so it doesn't take away from our coloring too much, but it adds just a little bit of shine. Did I put that on straight? Yep, I did. Just I had it crooked there. So add a little bit of bling. These are what are these ones? Dots for Days. Dots for Days. There we go. All right, there's our finished card. What do we think? Love it. Thank you for all your help. I think the purple is beautiful. Having said that, we could definitely stamp a little bit on the wild wheat as well, and then do the clear embossing over top. And I think the wild wheat would have looked just as beautiful as the purple. Maybe I'll do a second one with the three ladies so that you can check that out. Now, Joey's given us a suggestion that we should have a bee embellishment by the flower basket. What do we think? A little bee? Look at that, going around, or maybe like here, because there's flowers, we could put a bee down here as well. I'm gonna do one right here. I think that's a great idea. And again, they're so cute. This is why I had to add these into the ribbon. That's why it's a ribbon, a paper ribbon and bee share, because you got to have a couple little bees. There we go. Little bee on there. Perfect. Finish it off. Okay. There we have it. I'm going to just switch over. Okay, thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you guys enjoyed learning a few little tips for coloring. Have some fun with it. Like I said, it makes coloring fun, right? It doesn't make it seem like such a big job. And stamping on a base color like that, using the little bit of Wink of Stella, tiny bit of color, whether you put it on your block so that you don't need watercolor pencils, or the watercolor pencils are fabulous for stamping and coloring with watercolor paper. So they're a great investment to have for sure. And you can see the different techniques you can do with that and the shading, and get the same results of, say, you know, a alcohol-based marker, right? You can still get the blending without the marks. So that was my key, okay? All right, have a good evening, everyone. Thanks again for joining me. I will be back tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock. Before I go, I am going to take, let's see here, comment number 6. We're gonna go comment number 6. Let's see where I'm at. Starting with Michelle. We're gonna go comment number 6 is going to get my December fun fold. Gotta get out my pen so I can write down who I'm going to send this off to. If you need a catalog, if you want a copy of the new catalog, there is a form. I'm gonna put the link for the paper share and the catalog request form. I'll put that in the comments, and then you guys can fill that out if you want to do either one of those. Let's see here. You have to be within Canada to do the share and for the catalogs, okay? Because unfortunately I can only sell things within Canada because I'm in Canada. Okay, so Michelle was 1, Judy 2, Monica 3, Shelley 4, Joey 5, Eva. Congratulations. Marking you down there. You are getting a December fun fold. Perfect. I will mail that out to you on Monday. Okay, Eva, congrats. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow, 9 o'clock. Have a good evening.